What's up, guys? Sorry to be so late. This is number 19 in the books. What's going on? Let me give a roll call out here. We got, let me see. Got Don Atkins. We got Wild Bill. Got Kevin Trappin. We got GB Landon. We've got a few people in here. You got William in here. Boozer's kind of long-winded tonight. He's still going. I've waited 15 minutes on him, so maybe I can drag some of the guys over here from there when they see it. What's up, JCB67? Glad y'all made it. Hadn't been live in a while. Haven't been feeling real good, but I'm getting better. I got out of the house today for a while. I got up and drank a pot of coffee, watched my football at noon. We won, and I got ready and left the house around 3 o'clock this evening, and I drove down to the airfield, checked on my bigfoot, and it's all gleaming in its glory, stuck up there in the top of that tree, about 50 foot up. It's lodged in there, guys. She ain't gonna come out real easy. Well, the good thing about it, I met a guy down there that was flying some balsa planes, some 3D balsa planes, electric, and he's got some kind of laser he's gonna bring to the field and shoot up there and see how many feet is up there in the tree. He says he can put a pointer on it and find out how many feet it's up there in the tree. And he said he's climbed a tree down there to get one of his planes out, but it wasn't as high as mine. He said it was up around 20 foot. And his name is Tim. And I'll be indebted to him forever if he does able to get it out for me. Hello, George Watts. How are you, sir? So he's got my name, my phone number, and everything, and I got his name and phone number. He wants me to come down and go flying with him next weekend. The field, the runway down there, guys, is perfect. It's perfect. They've got it chopped down. He said, Tim said the runway was even closer 2 weeks ago, but it's fine to fly any kind of tail dragger off of right now. So maybe he'll call me sometime this week, or I'll touch bases with him and might go down there and fly with him next weekend. He works at a job with Johnston Controls, so he's not a member down there like me. He's floating around from one field to another, and but he lives there in Hendersonville, so it's all good. Maybe between him and me, we can get that. He kept asking me how much money I got in the plane. I said it's not going to be worth it. I mean, if I got to spend out a lot of money to get it back, I said it'd be just easy just to go buy another one and put it together. But I told him, I said I got around 200 in it. So if he can get it down, I'm indebted to him. He said he's got an 18-foot ladder So, but it's up there, guys. I couldn't see it from the lake side today. He found it from the field side, and the prop is looking at the field just like it went in. It's like that, looking at the field and the lake behind me. And all the wind and all the rain ain't brought Humpty Dumpty out of that tree yet, guys. She looks good up there. Think the prop's still on it. You can see the prop, you can see the cowl on it, and see the wings. Looks like it's all together. But it's up in a fork. And the main trunk of the tree up there is probably about 4 inches. So it's way up there at the top. What's up, Bear Wrestler? You talked to Pilot Ryan today? I'm anxious to find out how that gripping flew today for him. See if he got those mixes dialed in. Guys, we stayed up last night till Pilot Ryan stayed up 2 o'clock in the morning. And it was after 1 o'clock here, my time. Messing with the gripping, trying to get the canards wing wagging the right way, getting a gyro put in the gripping. I think between all of us, we got it figured out. I hope the mixes, yep. Air Marshal helped him with the mixes and got all those straightened out, but he still had to do some finishing touches on it, I'm sure. Knowing Pilot Ryan, he unplugged that gyro and fly without it if he had to. I can't understand why he had it switched at one time. The Hobby Eagle, he had it on a switch, he could cut it off and on. Then it lost. And now it just stays on all the time when it's plugged up. He couldn't switch it on Ox 3. And I've got 2 of those Hobby Eagle gyros here. There's a AL3 version 2. And I put mine on the freeway. The light on the Hobby Eagle gyro is off. And it'll go blue, and then it'll go red. Then on the freeway, and that's why I had it set up. I had it adjusted and everything. Unplugged the plane, plugged it back up. Gyro wouldn't ever come back on. So I couldn't ever get it to switch again. So I had to put it on a different switch. I put it on a 2-channel switch, and I was able to cut it off and blue. Off and blue. I never, well, being on 2-way, you can't use the 3 is I forget what the 3 the red is on those gyros, but they're more like experience mode, I believe, 3D mode. But I've got mine wired up just off and on right now. It's on a 540 edge in there. What's up, EQ? Michael Reisha. See if I missed anybody in here. I don't think so. I'm up to date. I put my chat in slow mode today. Then if I put it in slow mode, it's every 60 seconds for it to move. So I thought, well, that's too slow. So I cut it back off. Jeff from Lower Alabama. How you doing, sir? Yeah, George, we stayed up. Well, between Ryan and me, we're in our difference. I stayed up a little bit after 1. He stayed up a little bit after 2, finishing it up. Air Marshal one got it figured out with him on the mixing. He had to put 4 mixes in the canards, and to figure out what they did, you have to talk to Air Marshal. I told him to give Ryan some coconut butter, some coconut oil to help him grease the landing with it. Yeah, I don't know if I'd buy that for a beginner jet, Dave Marshall. Seems like it's all complicated. I just want to see it fly. I know how it works, but I don't know if I'd ever own one or not. No, it's not a beginner's jet by no means. I was funning on that. I guess it'd be a lot of fun once you got it set up. If you want to do some slow, high alpha maneuvers with it, going real slow. I think that's the reason Ryan was pushing for that gyro in there, help stable stable the back end of the plane. I hope it went well for him. But I met a guy down there at the airfield today. He's going to try to help me get my Bigfoot out. I was telling the guys earlier that he's got some kind of laser. He's going to shoot up there and measure the feet, how high it is. He's got an 18-foot ladder and got a 20-foot push-up pole. And he's got planes out of those trees before, but they wasn't as high as what mine's at. So between Tim and me, maybe we could bump our heads together and get it down somehow or another. I wish the Corps of Engineers just go in there and just flatten them all out, make core wood out of it. This is a nice field to fly at, but those trees right out there in the center, the original plan was to fly around those trees. Back when they were baby trees, you could do that. But now they're mature trees, and when they're fully greened out, you can't see through them. Now you either have to fly above them. If you fly behind it and you're at the station, well, you're flying by the seat of your britches. You don't know where it's at, where it's going, or nothing. So you got to keep that plane inside the field or out over the lake, but at a higher elevation above the trees where you can see it. Then make a high dive and come down into the field again. The president's really wanting to cut those down. He's trying to get the Corps of Engineers to bring them down. And Tim said today that was one of the biggest complaints from the other field down in Madison. They didn't like flying there because of the trees. So I'm not the only one that don't like those trees there at that flying field. But Tim's not a member there or a member at the Middle Tennessee club. He's floating around like me. We ain't got no permanent home, but he lives there in Hendersonville, so I might do some flying with him. He has some nice balsa 3D planes. He said that one come from Tired Hobby. I'm gonna have to look it up. It's built like you stick a a nitro motor on the front of it. It's built like that. Got some wide wings on it. Oh, he's flying the crap out of it today. Flying Futaba radios. I think the other one was a 260 3D plane, balsa. That's the only two he brought. He had 4 batteries in the back of his truck with his charger hooked up to it today. And they were 35 amp hours batteries. And he had them hooked up in parallel and had his charger plugged into it, charging his light post in the bed of his truck. That's basically what I'm going to do, but I'm going to be using the iron phosphate cells. Might have to look up the name of that plane. He said it was a 1960 designed, but you can buy it at Tires Hobby. I think it's what he told me. And you can buy it for like $99. It's a pretty good sized plane. It's probably got 50-inch wings on it. He had a wooden prop on it with motor on it, about that big around, big old fat can on it. So I'm not sure exactly. I don't know if I can, I can show y'all maybe flight from my phone, but I don't know if I can enlarge it enough where you can see it. But he was 3D in it today. Let me see if I can bring it up. This nah, this ain't working. Now let me see if I can share this. I don't know if y'all can see that very well or not. He's flying a 3D plane, balsa. I'll probably have to download it so you can see it. There's one of his 260s right there on the table. Flying the top of radio. This is a guy named Tim. My plane is in that tallest tree out there. See that tall tree right there? It's in the top of it. Can y'all see that okay? Do you see that tall tree out there, that far left across from the field right there? That's where my Bigfoot's in. It's about 4 to 5 foot from the top. It's all sitting in there real pretty. I think that's about all of it. I'll stop sharing that. I'm back, guys. What's up, Fred Barron? Jermaine Spencer, Candy Man. What's up, fellas? He was doing some 3D flying out there with Boss of Planes today. Is a guy named Tim. He fly the crap out of them. I'm gonna hook up with him. He asked me to come down maybe next weekend and fly some with him. I told him I would if he'd give me a call. So we exchange phone numbers and names and things. So he's gonna try to help me get my Bigfoot down. He said I've climbed some trees over there and got my planes down before, but they wasn't in the tallest one up there. It was only about 20 foot high. I don't know. It just hate to leave a brand new plane in a tree, guys. Breaks my spirit. Really does. I've only flown it 2.5 minutes. Dave, so Ryan didn't fly the Griffin today. Is that what you're saying? Dave's butt black hole. Oh me. I watched one game today. Tennessee Titans playing who they play today? Can't even remember. They played the Bears. We beat them 24-17, I believe. My short-term memory is leaving by the day, guys. Let me refresh this page. The chat's stuck, it looks like. Oh, me. Now it's moving. Yeah, they played Chicago Bears today. We beat them. Go back and see what I missed. Sorry, guys, my chat froze up. I think it's okay now. I watched Western Kentucky University play last night. My grandson, he's a he's a freshman this year at Western Kentucky, and he got a scholarship to play football. And I looked for his. I don't think he played last night in that game because I never did see his number. He's a wide receiver. He's 6 foot, 180 pounds. And his senior year, he's a quarterback. He threw 1,300 something yards, 7 or 8 touchdowns, and the running back, he got several touchdowns as a running back in his career. And he's a good old ball player. I thought I'd watch the game last night on Dish Network. It was on that college game was on like channel 440 in the alternate sports channels. Wasn't on a regular channel. And what I seen of it, the cameras they used to film that college game wasn't that good. I can barely make out the players' numbers. So, yep, I've got a grandson playing college football, but I didn't see him play last night. But I haven't talked to him either. I don't know if they might let him sit on the bench for the first year. You never know about college teams. We hit 80 degrees down here today, George. Plumb warm this evening. I was out in t-shirt, shorts. It was a good day, warm. Run the AC in the truck down to the airfield. You watch NASCAR, Dave Marshall? I've got NASCAR cards I collected back in the, 1995. I've got sets of cards, NASCAR cards. They range from 1987 through 1995 sets. Dale Earnhardt Sr. I got special sets of those. I quit watching NASCAR when Dale Earnhardt got killed. I just couldn't watch it no more. So I might one of these days sell my collection. I know I got over $500 in cash and cards. So I don't know what they're worth today. I've had them a long time. I really had no desire to sell them. But I've got a set of 8 cards on Dale Earnhardt. One of the cards worth $150. Some of them 70 and some of them 80. And I collected those because the guy I worked with, he was into collecting them. And I bought some. We traded, bought. He had a couple of friends that had some good cards. they got me into it, and I did it for a while. I enjoyed it. I got some good NASCAR cards. And most of the drivers that I've got today, they're all gone. They're retired. They're gone. I like drag racing. I like to watch it on TV. Jeff, Moore, Alabama. I always enjoyed drag racing. I used to build engines when I was young. Younger. I'm not saying I'm old. I ain't saying I'm young either. What's up, Mike Keller? Flying at 540 slick and V1200 today. It's all good times. Since I got my runway down there manicured, I'm gonna get my Bearcat down there and maiden it pretty soon. I got my landing strip down there, the runway. It's pretty much manicured. What's up, Jackson? RC at when you gonna come see me? You gonna bring Collins with you? You tell him when you see him to bring my Corsair with him. My park zone. Yeah, it's me too, Roy. I'm not young, I'm not old. I'm in between. Yeah, a month ago when I left the flying field, I haven't been back. The grass got out of hand. I mean, the runway was just as high as the rest of the lot, and now it's just like manicured. Tim told me today that 2 weeks ago was even better. So it's just right now for tail draggers. So I might get this Bearcat out next weekend and fly it. Take out the Wildcat, the Bearcat. Might take the P-51 Mustang out, turbo timber. Tim's wanting to fly at night down there. I might let him fly my turbo timber at night. He's wanting to put clear Monaco on one of his 3D planes and put some LEDs in it. We was flying so late this afternoon that he could barely see that big white plane. It's got 50-inch wing on it. I got to find out what brand of plane that is. He said you can buy it off of General, no, what was it? It wasn't General Hobby. Tires Hobby for $99. It's a balsa plane. And he's running a 4S 3700 roaring top in it. And it's got an electric motor on it with a wooden prop. He's 3D'ing the crap out of it today. I'll try to find out what that plane is. I showed y'all a minute ago. I've never seen one in life before. He got some nice 3D planes. Balsa. Fred, your hand getting any better, buddy? Yeah, V900, V1200. I'm sure they are, Air Marshal. That's why I'm not really in no hurry to fly my Goblin. So it probably get the adrenaline rush so high, I probably crash it too. Flying fast is not everybody's cup of tea. And the older I've got, the slower I want to fly. I met old man flies around with full flaps on real slow. And hope somebody don't run into me. That's a good deal, Fred. Maybe you can get to flying before too long. Like sliding in baseball, Air Marshal. Killer's the only one I know that bought that 1200. I don't know if anybody's bought one. Somebody was saying in chat the other night, I think it was Pilot Ron's chat, he put a 10 by 10 prop on it. He said the game probably 10, 15 mile an hour on it, but just change a prop on it. I forget who that was. He said he's going to put a GPS satellite in it. Oh, Christy, I left the house today. The ribbon on my back deck of the house, it was blowing sideways, and I got down to flying field this evening. It just calm as it cucumber, calm as it could be. So that tells you right there, the winds fluctuate from city to city. Windy here, calm down there. So you never know. So I didn't take no planes with me today. I just really drove down there to check on my Bigfoot. I was hoping it'd be down the ground, but no luck. It's wedged up there. It looks like it's all together. You can see the prop on it, the cow, the you can see the wings on it. It's facing towards the field, just like it went in. The wings is in a fork. It's going to be a tough one to get out. Going to be a tough one. Hopefully Tim can manage to get that out. I'd give him some money to get it out for me. I told him I've got about $200 in it, right near 200. I told him the money I got in it probably cost me more to hire somebody to get it out. He said he'd help me get it out, so he lives there close by. Maybe he can help me. Be a good deal to get my plane back. It's in one of them. You've heard the expression air marshal higher than Georgia pine. That's about where my Bigfoot's at. It's higher than a Georgia pine. Any of you guys got the HSD Jets D400 and like it? It's on sale for $169. Thought about maybe picking it up. Flies on 3S 2200. I know Roy's got one. I think Georgia's got one. I'm trying to get some insight. John, I think John Airborne, he's got one. I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna like it or not. Is it pretty aerobatic? Reckon. I know it's not no speed demon. Well, I'm not really wanting it for speed, but as far as flying, sport aerobatics with it is what I'm wanting to do. How many minutes you getting on a flight battery, reckon? What size battery you running in it? It says you can fly, if you add a little nose weight to it, you can fly a 3S 2200 in it. If you add a little weight to it. It's more aerobatic than my 300 extra. Okay. Gave mine away, Randy. It is worth the money. It will 3D hover pretty easy. That's cool to know. I can't 3D at all. So I'm just really wanting it to, fly circuits with it, do some rolls, some Cuban 8s, things like that. Fly it like a warbird. That's what I want to do with it. Oh, the 300 extra weighs almost 4 pounds, Roy. Yeah, that's a 44-inch wing on the D400, and the E-Flight 300 extra is 51.5-inch wing, and it's about 50 inch long, so it's a big plane. I just wondered about flight times on a 3S. Be worth my time. If it only gets 4 minutes, I really don't want it. I've already got 300 extra on 4 minutes. That breaks the bank on it for me. I like those Commanders. I don't think you can buy them anymore, Dennis, can you? I don't know if the Commander is available now or not. I like to fly, sport aerobatics. Yeah, I thought the Commander was discontinued. Dennis, that'd be like hunting a needle in a haystack. If they fly good, people won't let go of them. The Air Scout 3S 1200. That's a pusher prop, isn't it? The Air Scout. I'll try to find one, Dennis. I don't know if I'll be able to find a used one or not. I was on Facebook Marketplace the other night looking through airplanes, and there nothing caught my eye. Nothing. There ain't nothing near me or surrounding states that caught my eye. Either they was all priced too high, or I didn't care nothing about what I was looking at. Didn't find no deals in the marketplace, Facebook. I used to get some good deals on there a couple of years ago. Bought some nice used planes there at the marketplace. Not for 169. I thought about buying the D400, the 3D plane from HSD Jets. Put a little bit of nose weight in both sides of it, and slap a 3S 2200 in it. That's what gets me. E-Flight Horizon Hobby makes these good flying planes, and boy, you better get them when they're hot, because for too long they're not going to be not. They drop them like hotcakes, like grabbing a hot potato, and they drop it. You never will get them again. That's why I've been collecting park zone birds. I got 3. I'd like to find some more, but people want an arm and a leg for them. The 1100mm warbirds. I've got a BF 109 I've got to rebuild. It's going to be a nice little flyer. All I got to do is put a receiver in it right now, bind it up, it'll be ready to fly. I got to reinforce the horizontal stab on it. So it's just weakened. I got to get in there and strengthen it up, prop it up, and glue it up real hard. It's got weak. But you're looking at a 2009 plane. It's got road rash from hell on it. But right now it's going to be an old beater plane. As long as it flies good. The BF 109G Park Zone. I'm going to take the fixed gear off of it and hand tossed it and belly landed. Mike Kelly, you turning into a boss of snob. Why is that? Well, I talked to Jason about my thnxs Gen 3. He told me, I asked him about the updates for it. He said there'll be software updates for that radio. But as far as new gimbals and springs and, hardware for that radio, you might not be able to get. But he said that they'd always probably do the software updates for the radio. So I want y'all to keep that in mind when you're buying these radios. They've been out on the market for 2 or 3 years. It's old news. So I don't know. I'm taking in consideration buying me a newer radio. But my thnxs Gen 3, it flies great on planes. But if I broke something inside of it mechanically, I might not be able to get it fixed. Software ain't gonna fix a gimbal in it. What's up, Hamilton's Hanger? Glad you made it, buddy. Sorry about your Corsair. I know it hurts. It's a nice Corsair. Yeah, he said that they will support the software for my thnxs Gen 3 for a while, but he couldn't guarantee me the internal parts if something goes out that they could fix it. They're coming out with these NX6s, NX10s. I mean, those are going to be out of date here in a year or so. They'll be coming out with another radio. You like the Bigfoot better than the Freedom Fox? That don't surprise me. The Bigfoot's a well-built plane. I just didn't have mine long enough to enjoy it. Had it up 2.5 minutes on a 5-minute flight. But the way it went together and the way it's built, I don't have any bad thing to say about airplanes. And my Bearcat I bought from Air, I don't have no complaints on it at all. It's the same plane as 11 Hobby, the same dies that they used to make, and it plane's perfect, strong. I've been looking at a DX8 or DX9, but I'm not going to pay full retail for one of them radios. Sorry, guys, can't do it. been trying to work out a deal with Jeff Custom on his DX8 Gen 2. But he's wanting too much money for it. Jeff had to come off, had to come back down to Tennessee standards for me to buy it. Yeah, I like to have a DX9 black. That'd probably last me the rest of my life, Fred. I could live with a DX8 black Gen 2, but I'm not. Me and him's too far apart for what he's wanting out of it. No, it won't happen. My radio new was $2.99, and the boy in Florida run it in Facebook Marketplace. Said it was 6 months old. He just bought him a new radio. He sold it to me and shipped it from Florida to Tennessee for $129. A $300 radio from Horizon. I got the box, I got the manual, and got a receiver inside the box for $129. And right today, they're still selling for $170 and $180 on Marketplace right now. Sometimes I like to have more than 6 channels, Dennis. There's occasions I've got retracts, flaps, and a safe. And 6 ain't just, it's not enough channels. Now I don't want to put wire harnesses in there, make stuff work off wire harnesses. I just say sometimes I wish I had, not all the time, most of the time a DX6 will play anything I own. And I can make it work on everything I own, but I might not be happy with it's got it set up. DX8E, that's a possibility right there. But I wouldn't buy that thnxs, period. You know, you might be able to get 7 channels out of it, but I wouldn't buy it. Because I'd want 8 or the 10. Well, hopefully the price of the DX9 will go down after these other ones hit the market and start going out. Later, Jermaine. Glad you dropped in, buddy. You start flying a lot of jets, and you got to have 8 channels or better on those. I'm not flying jets, but sometimes in Warbird, I got retracts, I got flaps, and I got safe I want to put in there. I'll need a switch. Ryan was running out of channels last night in that gripping, and Ox 3 wouldn't even switch for him. So the gyro had to stay on all the time for him. He said he was okay with it, but you know, I like to have that option of flipping that off if I wanted to. I mean, I'm cool with flying no gyro if the wind's good. But if you know, crosswinds and stuff like that, you flip that on and help out quite a bit. Maybe save your butt. But I like to have extra channel radio sometimes. And I'm looking at that thnxs looks like there's a lot to learn in programming it. What I've seen, I'd hate to learn new radio right now after learning the DXs. I can go through them pretty easy, pretty quick now. I hate to change, but I might. You never know. Depends on what kind of deal I can get on radio. I don't think the IX caught on very well. I'll be honest with you, because they come out with these NXs real fast after these IXs, Jeff, LA. So it's identical to the DX series, just in color. I don't need color. I'm not colorblind, but I don't need color just to be buying it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need all that fancy stuff. But I'm just looking for a good radio to give me a few extra channels than my DX6 Gen 3. Oh, it's a good radio. I have no complaints with it at all. Well worth my $129 every day. It's flown every plane I've tried to with it, and I trust it. The only thing that happened on that radio with me was with an orange receiver in that P-51 Mustang. I got too far away from it, and I put some roll and some hard elevator into it to turn it around, and it went straight for a moment. Then it picked up the signal, then moved, but there was a short delay in that orange receiver. It was one of those 618 long antenna receivers. That's why I'm flying in that P-51 Mustang, a 30-inch. And I found out that day the long range test on it. I know how far I can fly it now. But at my airfield, I can pretty much cover all the area that I'm flying down there, except that far end. I took it out too far. It didn't want to control it. But finally it come back in. It kind of just dropped out and come right back in. The signal did. Then I seen the plane start banking. It went straight for the longest, freaking me out. I said, well, I'm gonna lose my bird up in them trees up there in the far end of the lot. But she turned around and come back. So I only bought 2 orange receivers, and let me see. I've only flown one of them, I believe, and it's a little 30-inch P-51 Mustang. I'm gonna try to stay away from those things. But right now, a lot of people ain't selling lemon receivers. I like lemon. I don't know much about these Admiral receivers. All right, EQRC. Appreciate you dropping by, buddy. Have a good night. George, that's what I'm thinking. Open TX. I got a flight controller. I really would like to program it to run the servos in my Bixler 2. but it needs to be an open TX, and it's a, I don't know, it's a Miltex F411 fixed wing flight controller. I've got it all wired up for SPV, but I really need a open TX to run it and use the US S bus to operate it. But I just ain't never got around to it. But Taba's expensive, George. Ones I've seen. Very high dollar. You've been flying for Taba a long time. I wouldn't mind learning a new format in a radio. I just need more channels. Open tags, Taba, free Skype. I mean, thnxs. I just ain't used to them. I didn't learn on them. I learned on Spectrum, and that's what I'm used to. But one day I'd like to buy a little drone and fly it with open TX. And I think an open TX radio would be, you know, I've got stuff in the future I'd like to fly with it. I could learn the Futaba. It would just take me a while to learn it. What's that radio called? Horace Air Marshal, one of them. It's super expensive. That's an open TX radio, I believe. Yeah, I know they're pricey. Yeah, the Horace. That's it, Michael. Raisha is a ripoff. Kenny, he swears by them open TX radios. The thing about it is, George, the Spectrum, the guys that flies drones and builds drones, they usually use an open TX receiver in them. And Spectrum, they're not drone friendly. I mean, if you try to get a radio that does everything, I don't. I mean, I don't think Spectrum is where it's at. I'm not knocking their radios, but by a long shot, I love their radios, but an open TX is format for a lot of different stuff. You buy these flight controllers to fly fixed wings for long distance. I mean, it's OpenTX. Drones, it's on OpenTX. Spectrum receivers in fixed wing planes, that's fine. Lemons, admirals, but there's times that I wish I had more channels. I could stand to have maybe 2 more open channels. A DX8 would suit my fancy, but I mean, if I get an open TX with 16 channels, that's even better. That Roadmaster and that Jumper T16, they're wishy-washy on some of them radios about putting out the software for them. One suing another one, and the other one suing the other one. You might wind up with a boat anchor. So I'm not sure about all that. Update releases is, could come, and they might not come for a radio. Who knows on that? They seem like good radio. The Radio Master and the Jumper, the T16. That Crossfire's badass, Air Marshal. I always wanted to fly my Bixler 2 for about 13 miles by camera back to my monitor. Now, I just ain't got it set up. I could fly it by camera right now, but it'd be on a Lemon 2.4 with a satellite in it. I might can get, I don't know, 2-3 miles out. I think it'd drop out. My setup's not going to fly a long distance with a Bixler. I can build a battery pack that'll last a long time for it. But to put my flight controller in it, where you set it up in iNav, and I need to open TX. I've got everything here except an open TX radio. But I don't know. I'll just put it on the back burner for now. I like to get out there and get some aerial shots. I mean, get up high. I'm talking about higher than 400 feet. Flying over the lake down there. I want to get up there so high that look like a little bitty spot. I got an old country road out here in front of my house, Rasha, that you could fly. I'm 1 mile from the end of one way on my country road. If you fly the other way, you could probably fly 8-10 miles straight up to the ridge. And that's the way I'd like to fly my Bixler 2 is north. You start turning around when the signal started dropping off. Wouldn't have no spiders. Plane flying that far away from your house, no telling where it'd be. You'd have to cross private property and everything else to get to it, if you could even find it. Rasha, you going to the fly-in at Boozer's? Talking about Las Vegas one night. It is too far for me to drive, George. It'd take me 8 hours to get to the Florida state line from here. I ain't planning on driving that far. I'll be wore plumb out driving that far. I can't, too old to do it anymore. Body gets beat up on a long trip. Last long trip I went on was 2017. I went to Jackal Island, Georgia. I've been to my brother's a few trips, but that's not really far. Those long trips, they wear me out. Takes me a day or two to recuperate. You're driving 1,400 miles to the Boozers. That's a good haul. I think it's about 1,300 miles just down to middle Florida for me, around the Cocoa Beach area. 1,300 and a half or something like that. And they're a little bit further south than that. They're down around Orlando on Tampa side. Yeah, Air Marshal, you're gonna have to go live during the event like you did at Jet Jams. Yeah, Florida, it's a long haul for sure. I could punch it in probably to find out, but it's a long haul. I can't commit to it. Dave's RC's gonna drive all the way down there. He's gonna. That's a long trip for him, being up in Maine. Long trip. I think I'd leave now on an ocean liner, get on it, float downstream, get in the Atlantic current. Be a lot of fun. Hang out with all you guys. If Air Marshal don't snore all night, keep everybody awake and farting and belching. Yeah, Dave's RC's trying to get that Joker plane together to bring. I can't get over those colors he used, that green and purple. My mind explodes when I see those colors. Air Marshal, I bet you snore like the Three Stooges do. If I ever go camping with you, I'm gonna bring some shaving cream. Once you pass out, you're gonna look pretty the next day. We're gonna play the shaving cream game on you. What's up, Mickey? You drinking that kangaroo juice? Don't open your mouth and sleep. That's a good one, Dennis. You know when he pass out, you pluck your hair out of you and tickle him with shaving cream. You just wipe it all over his face, match his beard, his hair. Do a good one on Air Marshal. He just laugh it off. Wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last time, Dave. Dennis, you make sure you bring some shaving cream with you, buddy. And if he gets acting up, you send me some pictures of it. So I guarantee I'll put it all over YouTube. Oh, me. Apparently, Ryan saved me a jet jam. I took a nap outside my chair. Ryan stopped people from messing with me. We'd hog tie Ryan. We'd stop that. You know what goes around comes around, Air Marshal. Be all good and fun. I've took my share, guys. Gotta roll with the punches. GB, drop your link in there to your what was it? catnip, cat playing with a cat toy in your other channel. Drop it if you want to. I don't have Nightbot operating tonight. But I do have my tip jar forecasted up in chat in the links below. Hint, hint, wink, wink. House payments due. Ha 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 ha. I'm just joking, guys. Yeah. GB's got some cat toys. I don't know where he got a cat from, but he evidently got some cat toys. He put a video up. He'll post a link here in a minute. Let me give you a wrench, GB. Hang on a second. Okay. You got a wrench. You can drop the links now. You should be. Try it. I'm working on a third cat toy video too. I'm thinking about mixing all kinds of stuff on my channel, guys. I'll be honest with you. Vacation trips. He needs a wrench with a healthy size of these nuts. That's Air Marshal for you. Christy. There you go, guys. There's a link. I'm going to right click on it, open it in a different tab, and I'm going to watch it later. I've got it open. Cute cat video, it says. Oliver's new something. Oh, it's a cat scratcher. That's to clean the poop out in his paws, GB. That's what that's for. Cat scratch fever. Brian Chambers, welcome, sir. Cats are nasty, especially a litter box. My lord. Only cat good is you starve them and put them outside and just feed them once a week. Let them hunt for everything. Feed them just enough to keep them around. That's it. I ain't letting no cat in and out. Who's got time for that? I'd feed him up on the porch maybe twice a week. The rest of the time, he'd be hunting mice. I used to raise Manx cats. They're born with no tails. Sometimes they got a little nub. Sometimes they got a little nub and a crook. They were the best. They kill snakes, birds, mice. I bred them for, I don't know, 10 or 12 years. They're called minks. And most of them were gray tabbies and yellow tabbies, the line that I had. This cute as a button. It's like little bobcats. That's a good place for the oven's a better place for a cat, Russia. An old girlfriend a long time ago had a Siamese, and when you wasn't looking, you had your arm on the side of the chair. A cat would sneak up beside your chair and get both paws and do it like that right there across your arm. That cat went in the oven a few times and it got turned on. But she'd always find us, get in there and get the cat out and open the door. I've never cared for cats, especially the mean ones that try to hurt you for no reason. Siamese are bad about that. I like tabbies. If I'm gonna have a cat, it'd be either be a gray tabby or a yellow tabby. They're pretty good natured kittens. $38-3. Falcons won today. Christy, how the Seahawks do? Tennessee was 24, Chicago Bears 17 today. The Bills crunched the Seahawks. I'm sorry, Christy. We won't go there. My game come on at noon, and I watched it at 3 o'clock. I got everything together and run out of the house and went to the airfield. And I got down there probably about, I don't know, 15 after 4. And it gets dark around 5 o'clock, so I didn't have much time. Went down and checked on my Bigfoot. Met Tim down there flying. I think we're going to start flying a little bit together. Hope he's able to get my plane out. Gives me a call this week. I'd be tickled. It's up there, guys. It ain't buzzed. It's been up there 2 months. It ain't buzzed an inch. It's still in the same spot. It's locked in the limbs. But putting eyes on it today, Tim was the first one to find it today. I couldn't find it. I couldn't see it from the back side. And he said, I can see it from this side this time. So the leaves are leaving the tree, but they're still up there. They ain't all left the tree yet. That's why I've been holding off on going down there checking on it. Chainsaw would be ideal to get it back. The tree would soften the plane as it hit the ground. Be a win-win situation for me. I got a brand new 20-inch Poland chainsaw out there in the shop. I've used it maybe 3 times. It'd be ideal to get my plane back. Boy, would I get in trouble cutting that tree down there, though. I got a good chainsaw, though. I get in trouble. Y'all get my bail money up. No, videotape the tree falling. That'd be like I'd like to put that on YouTube. It's like signing your death warrant. Guys, we've been going 96 minutes. I think it's about that time. I'm getting wore out. 10:21 here, guys. You know, I got on 15 minutes late tonight because the boozer's long-winded. That's okay. I try not to get into his mess. But I'm not going live every weekend either. So I have to respect his show. So it's all good. It all works out. I'm glad everybody dropped in, said hello tonight. Y'all like, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. And I got tip jars everywhere. And I'm going to peace out, guys. Good night, fellas. See you next weekend.